I reckon what you want to know is what I'm doing in here. I reckon it's because I killed somebody. But I reckon you want to know how come I killed somebody. So I'll start at the front and tell you. I lived out in back of my parents' place most of my life, in a little old shed that my daddy built for me. They didn't want me in the house with the rest of them, so I just sat around in the shed looking at the ground. I didn't have no floor, but I had me a hole dug out to lay in, a quilt or two to put down there. My father was a hard-working man most of his life. Not that I can say the same for myself. I mostly just sat around in the shed, digging around with a lawnmower or two. Went to school off and on from time to time, but the children there, they were very cruel to me. They made quite a bit of sport of me, made fun of me quite a bit. So mostly I just sat around out there in the shed. My daddy worked at the sawmill down at the planer mill for an old man named Dixon. Old man Dixon was a very cruel fella. Didn't treat his employees well or pay them well. Didn't pay my daddy too much of a wage. Just barely enough to get by, I reckon. I reckon he got by all right. They used to come out, one or the other of them, usually my mother, feed me pretty regular. So I know he made enough so I could have mustard and biscuits there 3 or 4 times a week. But old man Dixon, he had a boy, named Jesse Dixon. Jesse was more cruel than his daddy was. He used to make quite a bit of sport of him. When I was down there at the schoolhouse, he used to take advantage of the girls in the neighborhood. They used to say that my mother was a very pretty woman. They said that quite a bit when I'd be there at the schoolhouse. I reckon you want me to get on with it and tell you what happened. So I reckon I'll tell you. I was sitting out in the shed one evening, not doing much, just staring at the wall, waiting for my mother to give me my Bible lesson. I heard a commotion in the house, so I run up on the screened-in porch to look inside. I seen in and saw my mother laying on the floor without any clothes on. I seen Jesse Dixon laying on top of her. He was having his way with her. I just seen red. I picked up a Kaiser blade that was sitting by the door. Some folks call it a sling blade, I call it a Kaiser blade. It's got a long wood handle, kinda like an axe handle, with a long blade shaped like a banana, sharp on one edge, dull on the other. It's what the highways boys use to cut down weeds or whatnot. I went in the house, and I hit Jesse Dixon upside the head with it, knocked him off my mother. I reckon that didn't quite satisfy me, so I hit him again in the neck with a sharp edge, and just plumb near cut his head off. Killed him. My mother jumped up and started hollering, "What'd you kill Jesse for? What'd you kill Jesse for?" Well, come to find out, my mother didn't mind what Jesse was doing to her. That made me madder than what Jesse made me, so I took the Kaiser blade. Some folks call it a sling blade, I call it a Kaiser blade. And I hit my mother upside the head with it. Killed her. Some folks asked me, if you had it to do over again, would you do it the same way? I reckon I would. Anyhow, they put me in here, and I've been in here for a great long while.